गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. My teacher told me, normally people say that we must think, we must think, we must think. My Guru Maharaj told me, keep your tummies full and mind empty. So right now, all your tummies are full, correct? And hopefully mind is empty.
Yes.
Not sleeping, but empty. So remain alert. It will help. See, we are talking about death. We are talking about passing away. We are talking about going into the next realm, going to Swarga, Naraka, Vaikuntha, etc., etc., isn't it? Everyone understands all these words? Okay.
Yes.
All from Nepal. I was in your country. I went to Kailash just now and came.
Oh.
Not just now, in June. So, life is the common denominator. We are all alive, right? Or someone is dead. Everyone is alive, right? And what is being alive mean? Being alive means life expressing through this body, isn't it? When life stops expressing through this body, we call it as death. Now we have to understand what is life first, before we understand death. What do you understand? Tell me before I explain. What do you understand? What is life?
Life is energy.
Life is energy.
Soul.
Life is soul. Anyone else? बोलो, don't बाद में क्वेश्चन आंसर करने अभी कर लो. हाँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ. Life is a journey, but that doesn't explain what is life that is expressing through here. You all understand, all correct what you're saying, but we'll go beyond that. There is a stark difference between a dead man and a living man, isn't it? Living person. Something is missing in that dead person which is not missing in us. Right? We can't put our finger on it. We just give it the word energy, as she said. We give it another word, soul, as she said. Someone miss that point also and they give it another way because their attention is on the span of life, which we call it as journey. But nobody has been able to tell what is life per se. What is it? Some people say life is the Lord functioning through this body. They say Bhagwan is in everyone, so that Bhagwan is the life. The Jnanis say life is nothing but the pure consciousness, the Chetana, the intelligent principle which is expressing through this body. Now the question is, Your attention must be on the movies, Mahabharat, Ramayana. When someone dies, the light comes out of that person, tuk 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 tuk, it goes and enters into the Lord, and you think that is the soul which is of the nature of light, and this is how something must have happened, even though my eyes are not able to see it. I'm going to destroy all that. Our scriptures, there is no place for all that in our scriptures. So we'll understand what? That there is nothing called death. There's nothing called death. There's only manifestation and unmanifestation. I'll give you one example, and then that example we'll apply it on ourselves, and we'll see how we came into manifestation. Okay? So, the sun is shining, right? The sun is shining for, okay, take it another way. A piece of stone is there. The stone does not know why he is being chiseled away every moment. Some sculptor has taken the stone and he breaks it away from its mother rock and he brings it to his workshop, and day in and day out he is chip 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 chip, and this stone is crying, not me, not me, not me, why you are doing this atrocity on me, what have I done, is it because of my bad deeds that I am going through all this? Is it because of my prarabdha that I am going, destiny that I am going through all this? But the sculptor is unaware, chip, 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 chip. He's very, sometimes very big ones, sometimes very small ones, chisels, and he's chipping away. Why? Because what the sculptor can see in the stone is not able to see it in himself. You understand what he is saying? What the sculptor can see in the stone is not able to see it in itself. It keeps crying throughout life. And once the sculptor has finished his job, that same stone, which has taken a particular form according to the sculptor's imagination, sculptor's vision, then that stone is kept in a temple. And in that temple, then the priest comes and prana pratishtha is done. You understand prana pratishtha? The life is invoked in that statue. And from that day onwards, everyone in the world comes to Pashupatinath, to Badrinath, to Kedarnath, to Tirupati, and touches that stone, just looks at that stone, and they feel that God, Sakshat, is standing in front of them. That stone, piece of stone, as a stone, was not worshipped by anyone. But when that stone was sculpted by the sculptor, now it has become reverential. Understand? Same way, we feel we are good, not good enough. We have done so many bad deeds, we are saying good, and we feel why life is so hard, why life is, you say life is a journey, but in that journey, continuously sorrows, difficulties, challenges. We lose someone. Some people at ripe old age, some people are born and they pass away. And then we say, why me, why me, why me? Like that stone. But the Lord is the sculptor. He is preparing us for something. Instead of complaining, instead of whinging, Australian language, if we allow him to sculpt us, eventually, without complaint, that's lucky that stone is not able to complain, otherwise he would have hit back at the sculptor. We do. If someone does a little bit, I hate you, I will take revenge of you, I resent you, so many things we stop speaking to someone for weeks together, years together. One person, he had not spoken to his mother for 25 years, 27 years, something like that. And this is few years ago, in 2018. And he lives somewhere on the other side of the city. And He came and one day he said, Swamiji, I want to come. I said, come. You are going to Kailash, but I can't come this time. But I want to ask you a question. Me and my mother have not spoken to each other for 27 years. I said, then go and apologize for whatever reason. Even if she's wrong, you say I'm wrong. Or don't say wrong, but apologize and make amends. No, but she stopped talking. So I also stopped talking. Then he told the story that she was in India, Mumbai, she wanted some money, and I said, I'm having hard time, this, that. And I told her how much money you need. In India, you don't need so much expenses, and we have to survive here, this, that. And she said, I don't want your money and I don't want to talk to you anymore. So, but I'm feeling bad that so many years she has not talked to me. I have not gone even to visit. And she's getting old. I said, then you go and you just hold her feet and say, भूल चूक माफ, जो मेरे से गलती हो गई, अब आगे नहीं, I don't want to live like this anymore. But what if you say, break the door and go in. You go. If she doesn't want to talk to you, you go. Child always has the right to go to the mother, isn't it?
Yeah.
If she is the mother, if she doesn't speak, you go. And I went to Kailash, and I was on Kailash, Dirapuk, up there at 19,000 feet, and my phone was on, so he called. And I was walking, and I was exhausted. Swamiji, thank you. मैं कहा क्या हो गया? Heart attack तो नहीं आया ना? नहीं. I took your advice. I went directly to Bombay and I didn't ask. I knocked. She thought it was someone else. I just walked in and I caught her feet. And here is my mum. Straight away on the phone video. So when I saw Amma Pranam, Kailash se Ashirwad ये सब, मैंने कहा सुधर गया बेटा कि नहीं बस सुधर गया? And she's crying and he is crying. सब sort हो गया है ना? But for 27 years you are holding the resentment. Why my mom said this to me? We don't know. All the circumstances that come in our life are there to sculpt us into a divine being. We don't know that. We don't know that. This is one thing with life we have to understand. Second example. The sun is shining in the sky. We are talking about life and death, and how life is expressing through this body. The first was non-recognition of the divinity that we essentially are. We need someone in our life to show us that. And usually it is a Guru Maharaj or it is the grace of the Lord if we have enough faith for the Lord to show you everything. Second example, the sun is shining in the sky. Where will it reflect? Will it reflect on this table? Will it reflect on that cushion? Will it reflect on this floor? Will it reflect on this carpet? Or will it reflect on that polished surface on top of that table there? If I put a bucket of water here, will the sun reflect in that? Where will it reflect? It will not reflect on this floor. It's too gross, it's too coarse. You need a surface where the sun can reflect, isn't it? So it can reflect on that surface there, but it will not be clear because that is black color, it is dark, it will not be the same, original will not be seen. But in the water, if there is water here, the sun will reflect directly. Without a medium, important point, without a medium, sun's reflection cannot be seen. Correct? Without a medium, sun's reflection cannot be seen. You can see that sun reflected in many waves on the ocean as sparkle. But when those waves have died down and the ocean is absolutely calm, how many reflections will you see? Simple question, not difficult. Oh, only one. Only one reflection, sun or moon. Only one reflection. If there are many waves, many reflections, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Just as the sun or the moon need a medium in order to reflect itself, and that reflected light, suppose there is a bucket of light here and this room is dark and the sun is coming through that window and falls, its reflection falls on this water, what will be the effect? The effect will be the water, the reflected sun in the water will brighten up this room, isn't it? Correct? Exactly the same way. That divinity, that Paramatma, that Lord reflects in this body. But can you see the Paramatma in the body? No. Why? Because this body is like that floor. No reflecting surface available here.
We are not signing.
Huh?
We are not signing.
Sight?
Signing.
Not shiny.
Not signing.
Not shiny.
Shiny. Good. Not shiny.
Yeah.
So now we are coming to the shine.
Yeah.
So can the sun reflect in the breath? No. Can the sun reflect in the mind?
No.
It does reflect, but we cannot catch it because, like many waves on the ocean, you cannot catch the sun. You can see only sparkles. So you can see only some lights there, here and there in the mind. But where does it reflect? It reflects in the intellect. It reflects in. How does it reflect in the intellect? It reflects as life, as consciousness. So, how did this body of come about? What is this body made up of? Now we are coming to the real gist of it. What is this body made up of? Space, or take this universe made up of space, air, fire, water and earth, isn't it? Everything in this creation is made up of these 5 elements. This table, the wood element is there. Wood element is nothing but fire. Maybe water is very less content. Air is less content. Space, it is occupying a space. Similarly, this body is made up of earth. Breath is made up of air. The fire inside is made from the total fire. The air is from the total air. That is, once it comes into your nose, it becomes pranas. Then the what did you say? The waters, they are pervading 80% of the body is nothing but water. The physical part that you touch, feel, etc., that is the earth. And this body is also occupying a particular some space. So space, air, fire, water and earth. 5 elements have gone into making this body. And when these 5 elements come together, did you bring them together? I'm asking. Did you make your own body? No. Who made? Someone whom we call parents. You don't know. Someone said they are your parents. Someone showed you the certificate, these are the parents. Someone showed you the medical certificate that this time you were born. And you start believing it. Blind belief. You start believing that these are my parents. You have got no direct proof. What did the parents produce life, or did the parents produce the body? No, only body. Only body. All that they did was allowed the 5 elements to come together, and the mother's womb is the right place where these 5 elements from conception, then zygote, then it becomes all the 9 avatars take place. It's a fish, then it becomes like a worm, then it goes on and grows, then it becomes a tortoise. If you see the child as it is developing, it becomes a tortoise, then it goes, and eventually all the limbs become specific and everything, and in the 4th or the 5th month, life enters. Till then, that body is living, it's still, till the birth is there, it is living off, it is a cannibal. It's living off the mum. It is nourished by everything in the mum. There is no outside nourishment. But life enters into it, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, life enters into it in the 5th month. That's why in our culture, till the 3rd month, you are allowed abortion, etc. But after that, they don't allow abortion. Why? Because there is every possibility that the life can enter anywhere between 3rd and the 5th month. That is why they don't allow. So, when the child is only a zygote, only a few cells or few, it is not fully developed, can life express through that? No, it's not ready. It's not ready. When it is ready, only then the life enters. And it takes about 3 to 5 months for that child to be able to support life. And what does supporting life means? Now that body is come together to such an extent that it can reflect a life. How? I'll tell you one example. If you take a stone, piece of stone, and you show it to the sun, there is no reflection. But I start rubbing it, I start polishing it for some time. As I keep polishing, after some time, the reflection of the sun is seen on the surface of that stone, isn't it? Exactly the same way. When these 5 elements come together in the intellect, this life is able to reflect. Now, the life, what is that life? Consciousness. What is that consciousness? Just like the sun was able to express through the various waters in the bucket, similarly, this one bucket is created in the womb of the mother, and the Paramatma, the light, the consciousness, the Lord, he is able to reflect in this body in the womb. Body came together by itself, and the life, Paramatma, expressed as life through it. Now, when death happens, what happens? The 5 elements which have come together called this body, they go back to the 5 elements. The earth, the body, goes back to the earth. The water evaporates and goes back to the total waters. The fire goes back to the total fire element on this earth. The air goes back to the total air. And space, the body, that space it was occupying, it goes back to the total space. So where is death? Where is death? Consciousness, can consciousness ever die? If I throw that water away from the bucket in which the sun was reflecting, if the water is thrown away, did the sun die? Did the reflection die? Reflection was just it was not real. Sun was real. What you were seeing was only a reflection, because the medium was available. If the medium is not there, the reflection goes back to the original. Exactly the same way, the 5 elements came together, the reflection of the Paramatma, the expression of the Paramatma as life started happening. When death took place, the 5 elements go back to 5 elements, and the reflection goes, the life goes back to the Paramatma. Actually, there is no coming and going back, it's always the same. It appears that way. So there is no death. There is no death. This is from the highest standpoint. Now we'll come back one down. So there is, when we go, and sometimes just now I completed, three months ago, I completed Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad is a dialogue between Nachiketa and the Lord of Death. And he's explaining, what I am explaining is what is given in there. So there is no death. Yet, while we are living, we see everywhere around us only death. Death is the only constant. Everything that comes into existence must go out of existence, isn't it? If this camera has come, already it is giving me problems. It's been 5 years, I'm using it, but sometimes the screen just vanishes, sometimes something doesn't, or nowadays all the machines, TVs, whatever equipment you buy, after some months or some years, it stops functioning. Not like before. Already coming with expiry date. We have also come with the expiry date. And that expiry, we have to understand correctly rather than get caught up emotionally. What are you getting caught up emotionally? You are getting caught up with the reflection. You are not thinking about the original. Original was the sun. We are crying about that bucket water is spilled. Where has the reflection gone? I think it has gone to Swarg. I think it has gone to Vaikuntha. Arey yaar, reflection was only an imagination. It was not real. Real is sun. So this is from the Upanishad. Upanishad is the highest knowledge that you have. Now we come down to one more level. One level. That one level is that this life which is expressing through us is a part of the Lord. That Lord alone is expressing through here, and we must make all the efforts. So here comes the concept of the soul. So how does Lord express through us? As the soul. Now we come to the pictures, movies, serials that you see, that light goes and merges into the Lord. So what happens there? Hanumanji said to, after they came to Ayodhya, after killing Ravan, they were sitting, you know all this, na? So they came back to Ayodhya, and Ramchandraji, after Pattabhishek and everything, he was sitting in his garden on a swing, and Hanumanji was just sitting there. And he is very dear to Ramchandraji. And Ramchandraji is saying, Hanuman, yes, Swami, I wonder, how do you see our relationship? He says, very simple. He says, what do you mean? Very simple. He says, whenever I am thinking of myself as the body, I consider myself as your servant. Dasosmyam. As a body, I am your das, I am your sevak, I am your servant. When I consider myself as the soul, someone used the word soul. When I consider myself as the soul, manifestation of the divine in this body, a part of the Lord, then I am a part of you, O Lord. You understand? As the body, Dehatma Adhyas, I am a servant. As the soul, Jivatma, which comes and goes, which takes rebirth. You understand this concept? Yeah. So that Jivatma, I am a part of you, O Lord. But when I consider myself to be the Atma, there is no difference between you and me, O Lord. These are Hanumanji's words. So now, question is, I have given you from Atmic point of view, the first part. Second part is from the soul point of view, or the Jivatma. This reflected sun in the waters. Similarly, the reflected Lord in and through this body, or the manifestation of the Lord through this body, is called as the soul. Manifestation of consciousness through this mind is called as soul. Through this body is called as soul. If you talk about that when someone passes away, the soul has gone to heaven. So that means soul has not died. It has gone to heaven. If you talk about that the soul will take many places. Just now I was in Sydney. Someone has, some child is born and he has got all the habits of his grandfather. All the habits, including color selection, everything. And they are wondering what is happening. That fellow has come back as. So when we talk about these examples and we see them in our life, we believe in rebirth, that the same soul has again born in the same family because he was attached to the family, and so on and so forth. See? So where's the question of death again? If soul were, the body was not able to support the life, the soul left this body, just like you are driving a car. I just had an accident 1 month ago. Car was written off. Oh, my life is over because my car is dead. No, I go and buy a new car. Correct? And I don't repent. Insurance company gave me some money. Exactly the same way. It is not that the soul enters when this body is unable to support life. The life, this is now as a soul. The soul leaves this body, which we call as death, and the soul goes and takes a rebirth somewhere else. It may take now, it may take later, it may take after many ages. All Dalai Lamas, Rinpoches in Buddhism, they all are reborn. They are all reborn. So now when the old previous Dalai Lama passed away, the priests, they go around looking, the monks go around looking, and the child has to recognize 5 things or 3 things or 4 things of the hat, the stake, and the begging bowl, and few of the items. If that child recognizes those 3-4 of things, it is declared that this fellow is the previous Dalai Lama. See? So now when this present Dalai Lama passes away, they will again start looking for him. I was on the Singapore airport and I was waiting for my flight and sitting there with my friend, and suddenly Dalai Lama starts walking from there. And about 20-30 people all around him, security fellows with walkie-talkie, there was so much security. So when I saw him coming, natural response, I stood up with hands clasped like that, Namaskar Mudra. And he has to go into the, to the gangway. Came straight to me. And I'm standing. So the moment he came, natural response, Hari Om Swamiji, Pranam, I did my Namaskar. And he picked me up. And in Tibetan, in Buddhism, they touch their forehead to each other like that. So he picked me up and he touched his forehead to my forehead. And I started laughing. A big smile on my face. I said, Swamiji, automatic download. Data transfer ho gaya. Oh, the moment I said, Swamiji, data transferred, he cracked up, man. He laughed and laughed and laughed. And he said, then he started praising the Sanatan Dharma. He started saying, without Sanatan Dharma, Buddhism would not have been there. And then he didn't have much time. He has to, flight is getting delayed. So then he went away. But that was, but why did I touch his feet? Because he has recognized the divinity in himself. He doesn't complain. He has got no likes and dislikes. He doesn't live in the past. He doesn't worry about the future. He lives a life of discipline, continuously remembering the divinity, that life as it is, pristine, immaculate, which is expressing through this body. They say every saint has a past, but they also say every sinner has a future. Correct? But we say we are only sinners. But we forget that Valmiki was a murderer before. That Angulimal was a murderer before, who used to cut 108th finger he wanted of Buddha. And he lifted the axe and his hand did not come down and became the greatest disciple of Buddha. See? So how do you invoke this? By continuously remembering. It is not given in the books. It is not in the statues. It is not in the anywhere else. That life is expressed. I can suss that there is a life expressing in each one of you. But I can catch that life. I can be that life only in myself. And those who have come to recognize and be the life as it is in spite of the body, they are called saints and sages. And when we come across such a person, the vibration, the aura around them, the wisdom that they impart, automatically, even if we don't like, we feel compelled to touch their feet and be humbled in front of them, isn't it? Automatically. Because there is so much tejas, there's so much क्या कहते हैं, purity in them. And that purity has not come because they are running ashrams or they are having so many. It is coming because they are continuously contemplating on that divine that is called as life. And we don't. We are contemplating on what? Apne grandchildren, children, great grandchildren. And when there is nobody around, then we open the album and starts watching the videos and the photographs. Kahan gaye wo din? See? Why don't you use that opportunity called life that we are living right now to remember the divine? And how does that life called divine, that divine, express in us? That divine expresses as speech, that divine expresses as vision, that divine expresses as the hearing ability, that divine expresses as the smelling ability, that divine expresses as the taste, that divine expresses as the thinking ability, that divine expresses as the ability to choose right from wrong. That is possible only in the human beings. And what are we choosing? Should I eat Indian or Chinese or pizza? Our choice is only left at this level. Should I wear satsang mein kaun se, I don't know anyone. Which clothes should I wear? I think I will wear sannyasi clothes today. This color is sounds good.
Like me, I'm wearing
That's it. Our choice is limited to that point. अरे यार चूज करना ही है. हमारे शास्त्र बोलते हैं if you want to choose what is permanent and what is impermanent. Choose between what is the changeless and what is changing. Shift your attention from the changing. You have lived enough. All of you are grown up. You have lived your life looking, engaging and accepting or rejecting the changes. कहो मानो या ना मानो, बाल तो सफ़ेद हो रहे हैं. शीशे में देखा, अरे बाप रे, फटाफट कलर मार दिया, छुपा दिया. So we accept or we reject, but we have been rejecting and accepting, and all this we have been doing about the world, isn't it? That world includes everything. World means change. Samsarati iti samsar. Samsar is that which is changing. So find out what is changing. The world is changing, the weather is changing, the years are changing, the planet is continuously changing. अरे यार ये तो everything in the world is changing. Let me come to the body. अरे body is also changing. Childhood, teenage, youth, middle age, अभी हो गया, आ रहे हैं, अपनी भी फोटो लगने वाली है. Change. That is the norm of life. But what is choice? If we have been given a choice, we must distinguish or discriminate between changeless and the changing. So, body is also changing. Breath is also changing. Reject it. It's not worth contemplation. If you contemplate on the breath, you will do pranayam. If you contemplate on the body, you will do yoga. If you come to the mind, senses, sometimes you are seeing, sometimes you are hearing, sometimes you are not. You can do only one thing at a time. You cannot do all the 5 things at the same time. You think you are doing 5 things at the same time, but if you slow down your life a little bit, mind your little bit, you will find at one given moment only one thing can be done. But it is happening so fast, you feel it is continuous. I am doing all multitasking at the same time. It's not. Come to the mind. Mind can also think only one thought at a time. It cannot think multiple thoughts. Impossible. Only one thought at a time. And that is also, The thought appears, it stays, then it dies. Next thought has to come, change. Concepts also changing in the intellect. In the childhood, I was playing with the toys. Now I play with grown-up toys, living toys. Before they were machine toys, now they are real toys. Before I could not sleep without mummy's shawl या दुपट्टा, एक पकड़ के एक अंगूठा मुंह में डाल के सोए. जब तक वो शॉल अपने पास नहीं होगी तब तक नींद नहीं आती थी. कितने बच्चों को देखते हैं हम. But now I don't have that concept. If I think about it, I feel ashamed. Achha, I was like that. Mommy, don't tell that story again and again in front of all the people. My mom, if one young mother is coming and कभी घर पे आते रहते हैं बच्चे, तो आके आंटी, she is 84, and in front of her you tell, my child, yes, she is 2 years old, and these are the pranks that she does. Immediately that 84-year-old mother starts thinking about when my son was 2 years old, what he was doing. And she says, अच्छा ऐसे करता था, स्वामी जी भी ऐसे करते थे. अरे यार, let her enjoy telling the story of her child. Why you have to tell me about me? मेरे सामने करती हैं तो मैं बोल देता हूँ, जब मैं नहीं होती तो क्या करेंगे. माँ का तो दिल वैसे ही होता है ना. But again, what I am saying is, concepts also change. Throughout your life, things have changed. Something you enjoyed wearing some colors when you were a kid. कौन से कुछ हैं यहाँ पे, those who enjoyed bell bottoms in 70s. Now you wear, I used to wear like that. Oh my God. Huh? So things have changed. So everything is changing. But have you changed? Waking, dream and deep sleep have changed. Every day they are changing. Every day waking comes, goes. Dream comes, goes. Sleep comes, goes. If you do meditation, meditation comes. And you want to be in meditation for the rest of your life, but it breaks after some time. So that also changes. But all these are changing. Whenever put attention, in satsang you are told, don't put attention on that which is changing, put your attention on that which is changeless. And what is that? That is the life, the consciousness, the divinity, the soul, whatever word you want to give it. No death for that. Change means death. The consciousness you call it, Atma you call it, Jivatma you call it, soul you call it, life you call it, never dies. So don't cry. Does the ocean feel elation, or I should say, does the ocean feel the loss within itself when so many waves are being born out of it? And does the ocean feel complete when so many waves merge back into the ocean? Or does it feel complete in spite of birth and death of waves? Which statement is true from ocean's point of view? It feels complete. Nothing is lost, nothing is gained by the ocean by coming and going of the waves, isn't it? Exactly the same is the divine. From divine's point of view, from Atma point of view, from the Lord's point of view, or the Paramatma point of view, nothing, there is no gain and there is no loss. There is no birth and there is no death. I'll give you one more example. From the sun's point of view, is there a birth of the day and death of a day and beginning of the night and the end of the night? From sun's point of view, I'm asking. Can the day and night happen without the sun? No. But from sun's point of view, there is no day and there is no night. You ask the sun, thank you, Om Bhurvasva Tat Savitur, thank you for coming up today. He says, why are you doing? No, you removed the darkness of the night. He says, what is darkness? From sun's point of view, who is of the nature of light, there is no darkness possible. Oh, I understand, there's no darkness, but thank you for the light. He says, what is light? He doesn't know what light is also. Because you go out of the earth's atmosphere, there's nothing called daylight. Daylight appears only because of the atmosphere of the earth. You go out of the earth, it is called dark light. It is not called light. Light you get only because of reflection. The light is reflecting, so I am seeing the color.
Yes.
Similarly, when Paramatma gets a surface called the body, he expresses as life. देखो मजा. ऐसे सोचने लगोगे, हिंदी समझते हो थोड़ी देर, ऐसे सोचने लगोगे तो जीवन एकदम सरल हो जाएगा, आनंद आ जाएगा जीने का. Then you will celebrate anyone's unmanifestation. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा मेमोरीज होती हैं, थोड़े आंसू निकलते हैं, बट इन द बैकग्राउंड दिस नॉलेज इज देयर. यू कांट कंटिन्यूसली ग्रीव. इट्स अ सेलिब्रेशन दैट द लाइफ हैज गॉन बैक टू इट्स सोर्स. उस सोर्स को हम वैकुंठ बोलते हैं, उस सोर्स को हम स्वर्ग बोलते हैं, बट देयर इज नथिंग टू क्राई देयर. और अगर वर्स कम्स टू वर्स, अच्छा रीबर्थ, अच्छा फिर नया बॉडी मिल जाएगा, फिर भी कोई लॉस नहीं है. आपका जो रोना धोना होता है या मिसिंग अ पर्सन होता है, इट इज फॉर योर व्हाट विल हैपन टू मी. यू आर नॉट क्राइंग बिकॉज दैट फेलो हैज गॉन अवे. यू आर क्राइंग बिकॉज नाउ योर सपोर्ट इज गॉन. You can't scream at someone. You can't complain to someone. You feel the loss of that life in your life. You miss interacting with that person. It's all about you. इसलिए गरुड़ पुराण पढ़ो. तो सत्संग कभी कभी मुझे बुलाते हैं ऐसे, तो कहते हैं स्वामी जी उनकी शांति के लिए आप सत्संग करिए. मैंने कहा मैं जाता हूँ, पर उसके बाद मैं बोलता हूँ वो तो शांत है, तुम अशांत हो, तुमको चुप करने के लिए मैं आया हूँ. नहीं, टू द लॉस्ट सोल 13 दिन करने चाहिए. 13 दिन में गरुड़ पुराण पढ़ना चाहिए, भगवत गीता करनी चाहिए, चैंटिंग करनी चाहिए, 2nd चैप्टर पढ़ना चाहिए, है ना, ये सब. मैंने कहा वो सब जो चला गया उसके लिए नहीं, उसको पता है वो कहाँ पहुँच गया, क्योंकि हुआ कुछ भी नहीं है हमारे हिसाब से तो, और शास्त्रों के हिसाब से भी. फिर किस लिए करेंगे कि ये जो बेवकूफ़ यहाँ पे रो रहा है, धो रहा है, ग्रीव कर रहा है, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग में, अटैचमेंट में, उस बेवकूफ़ को, उस इडियट को सुधारना है. इसलिए ये 13 दिन का श्राद्ध करते हैं. So in this manner, if you look at life, if you look at the passing away, if you look at the unmanifestation of the body, and keep your attention on the indestructibility of the divinity, the soul, the consciousness or the Atma, all different names for the same thing, then there's nothing to grieve in life. Celebrate someone's passing away. Celebrate. Nobody wants a crying person afterwards. Whom do you enjoy in life? Crying people or happy people? Happy people. We automatically gravitate. So when someone is passing away, be happy in the right understanding. लोगों को दिखाने के लिए थोड़ा सा रोना धोना कर दो. तो एक गुरु महाराज थे, हरिद्वार की बात है, रियल इंसिडेंट. So he was giving some lecture somewhere and the Guru Maharaj who was sitting on the gaddi, he passed away. तो जैसी न्यूज़ पहुंचा उनके शिष्य को, who was going to be the उत्तराधिकारी, he was told he was in Madhya Pradesh somewhere. He immediately took the flight, got the car, came, and he saw about 10,000 people in the ashram. अरे बाप रे, and all the स्वामी जी अपने अब आधार चला गया, अब हमारे माँ बाप चले गए, हमारे गुरुजी हमारे लिए सब कुछ थे, कहते हैं मेरे लिए भी थे. And he started crying more louder than anyone else in that those people there. And all those people became wise. स्वामी जी क्या हो गया आपको? नहीं, go. He started rolling on the ground and कपड़े गंदे हो गए और सब कुछ हो गया. स्वामी जी आत्मा मरती नहीं है. Atma never dies. Guru principle never dies. You only teach us. Guru Maharaj only told us. And you are behaving like this. नहीं वो सब बोलने के लिए होता है. I am totally in grief. I can't do this. थोड़ी 10-15 मिनट थोड़ा किया, उसके बाद कमरे के अंदर गए, हाँ भाई चाय लेके आओ, पकौड़े लेके आओ। उनके साथ हम स्वामी जी भी थे, तो कहते हैं अरे यार अभी तो तू ये कर रहा यार, इट इज़ ईजी फॉर 10,000 पीपल टू टेक केयर ऑफ 1 person, बट इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट फॉर 1 person टू पैसिफाई 10,000 पीपल। करना पड़ता है। स्मार्ट, बी प्रैक्टिकल, be practical. So, and I'm not saying that you have to put it on. जब अपने नियर्स एंड डियर्स जाते हैं, अपने दोस्त वगैरह जाते हैं, अभी मेरे क्लासमेट्स चले गए 2-3, थोड़ा मन में आता है, बट इट डजंट लास्ट लॉन्ग, क्योंकि पीछे फाउंडेशन जो है पक्की है। इफ द फाउंडेशन इज स्ट्रांग, द बिल्डिंग विल नॉट कोलैप्स। इफ द फाउंडेशन इज वीक, you will go into depression, you will lose the plot of life. So what I have been telling till now in the beginning was all the foundation. Take that as a foundation, that life as the consciousness is the indestructible principle. So as long as, and all the time you cannot be thinking about it. If your attention comes to the body, serve the elders. If your attention is on the soul, think that you are part of the Lord. And when your attention in meditation, for example, is on the Atma, there is no difference between Paramatma and the individual Atma. In this wisdom, in this knowledge, live and be happy.
That is really good.
Now you can ask if there is any question left.
Anyone, any questions regarding this
मेरा
topic?
एक प्रश्न है गुरुजी। तो आपने जो कहा है कि अभी कि घर में कोई भी चला जाएगा तो दुख तो होता ही है। तो हम इस प्रकार के जो ज्ञान हमें मिला घर पर, सिर्फ मुझे मिला फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो सब लोग रो रहे हैं, तो मैं हंस रही हूँ, रो रहे हैं, तो वो लोग क्या करेंगे? वो लोग तो मुझे बुद्धि बोलेंगे ना।
मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि सबके सामने हंसना है। मैंने अभी तो बोला कि अंदर से फाउंडेशन रखो और बाहर जो फीलिंग है वो तो एक्सप्रेस करनी है ना। अभी ये थोड़ा ना कि अगर मैं इधर आके बोलूँगा, किसी ने मेरे को अपने क्रिमेशन पे बुलाया, मैं अरे कोई नहीं मरता, ये सब कुछ ऐसी है, वहाँ पे जाके आई हैव टू शो कि भाई दैट पर्सन इज जेन्युइनली फीलिंग द लॉस, एंड देयर आई कैन नॉट गिव दिस ज्ञान टू हिम। दिस इज 8th month और 9th month। अगर पहले दिन बुलाते तो मैं थोड़ा टोन डाउन कर देता, but usually when I go to cremation, if someone invites me and says please come and pay respects and say some words, I make them laugh and go. I don't make them cry. डिपेंड करता है मूड के ऊपर कि उस समय लोग कैसे हैं। किसी को इट्स इंट्यूटिव, किसी को कोई रो नहीं रहा है तो रुलाना पड़ता है, किसी कोई रो रहा है ज़्यादा तो हंसाना पड़ता है। एंड तो इट्स आई डोंट गो विद द प्री सपोजिशन कि ऐसे ही करना है। तो अगर आपके घर किसी का देहांत हो गया है, यू हैव टू बी जेन्युइन, बट विद दिस नॉलेज एंड द बैकग्राउंड, देन यू विल ग्रीव फॉर सम टाइम। थोड़ी देर के लिए जाएगा, ओवर।
So the fact that like whoever hasn't listened to this kind of thing will take longer, but he will take shorter. That's the only.
Shorter. A realized master, a Mahatma, a Sant, only a microsecond. A microsecond of grief. That is for you. हाँ?
ग्रीफ तो होता ही है।
ग्रीफ इसलिए होता है क्योंकि हम इमोशनली इन्वेस्टेड होते हैं। इफ़ यू आर इमोशनली इन्वेस्टेड इन द लॉर्ड, in the divine, then this grief will not be there. Then the grief will be why I am separate from the Lord still. Then you want to merge into the Lord. That grief is greater than the grief of losing someone near and dear.
So, Guruji,
It's question of perspective, where you are sitting in yourself.
तो जिसको आइडिया है कि एक्चुअली देयर इज नथिंग लाइक डेथ, उनको ग्रीफ कम होगा।
कम होगा, वो थोड़ा हो भी सकता है, हमारे पिताजी गए, हमको हुआ, पर हम रोए नहीं।
अब वो
नहीं, कुछ हमारे को
तो नहीं किया हमने गुरु जी का जैसा।
हाँ
तो गुरु जी ने पूरा 1 लाख लोगों को किया तो
नहीं इतने लोग नहीं आए। तो
It's also all about the training, how you train your mind.
see that's the only
How you prepare yourself.
that's only all life. What are you doing? You put one mala around your wife's neck, and from that moment you start behaving like a husband. हमारे स्वामी जी बोलते हैं हंसी बंद।
एक की थोड़ी होती, दोनों की होती।
पर नाम वाइफ का नाम हस्बैंड नहीं है।
ये जो हंसी बन का ये सब मियाँ बीवी अपने
सब खुश हो गए, सब एक दूसरे को देख रहे हैं। पर सोचो कि एक आदमी और एक औरत आते हैं, माला डालते हैं, थोड़े से फेरे लेते हैं, सब क्रियाकर्म करते हैं, और अंगूठी डाल दी या सिंदूर डाल दिया, कुछ मटेरियल डाल दिया, मंगलसूत्र डाल दिया, उसके बाद यू स्टार्ट एक्सेप्टिंग योर सेल्फ एज अ हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ. बट शो मी वेयर इज हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ. If I touch, if you are touching each other, are you touching man and woman or are you touching husband and wife? Tell me. Man and woman, isn't it?
Yes.
Man and woman have no problem. Husband and wife have all the problems. सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हस्बैंड की वाइफ को लेके, वाइफ की हस्बैंड को लेके, फादर मदर की बच्चों को लेके, बच्चों की फादर मदर को लेके, और ये सब की सब एंटिटीज है ही नहीं. है तो आदमी है या औरत है?
कुछ है ही नहीं, लेके बैठे हुए।
हाँ, लेके बैठे. जिस दिन ये क्लिक हो गया ना, आनंद आ जाएगा जीने का.
वही तो, लेके बैठे हुए हैं।
बस.
ऐसा है।
गुरु जी ये समझिए कि हमको तो आज से आनंद आ गया. आज से वही वाइफ करने को और कटो.
बोलो मैं तो आदमी हूँ, किसको बुला रही है? It's how you look at yourself. Where are you sitting in yourself? Are you sitting in the reflection or are you sitting in the original? Man with the reflecting material called wife accepts himself as husband. हमको जीना कैसे है? मैं एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ, क्लियर हो जाएगा. Every day you go in front of the mirror. You are standing in front of the mirror. There is a reflecting medium. You see the reflection in the mirror. But do you make the hair of the reflection? Do you put the lipstick on the reflection? So you are looking at the reflection, but your attention is on the original, isn't it? Correct or not? So when you look at your wife, your attention should be on the man, not the husband. When you look at the man, husband, your attention should be on the woman, not on the husband. ये इतना सा शिफ्ट कर लो, देखो कैसे जीवन परिवर्तन हो जाएगा.
बस गुरु जी समझिए हो गया ऐसे.
चैंपियन, अच्छा शिष्य मिला है. इमीडिएटली पकड़ लिया. हाँ,
उनके साथ मैं एयरपोर्ट जाऊंगा बैग लेके.
पर ये चीज पकड़ लो तो जीवन में आनंद ही आनंद है. Then you can play the roles and not get caught up by the roles. The crying personality is the roles which does not exist. हस्बैंड रोता है, वाइफ रोती है, फादर रोता है, बच्चा रोता है, पर है सब के सब भूल जाते हैं कि मैं आदमी हूँ, भूल जाते हैं कि मैं औरत हूँ. उसी तरह से आदमी औरत को छोड़ना है और परमात्मा को पकड़ना है. वो भी एक रोल है बाद में.
गुरु जी हस्बैंड रोता है करके जब बोले तो आप मुझे पॉइंट कर रहे हैं, आपको कैसे पता चला? मैं तो छुप के रोता हूँ.
मैंने क्या बोला? हस्बैंड कौन होता है? हंसी बंद. शक्ल पे दिख जाता है.
Struggle with that.
या हाँ,
Can you please explain about the Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya?
अरे बाप रे, अभी
इसके बारे में थोड़ा
अभी बताया था, आपने सुना कि नहीं सुना?
ये और इसको और एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं आप?
ब्रह्मस,
आप-
तो इसके लिए हम एक एग्जांपल ले लेंगे. लहर, लहर मीन्स वेव्स, ocean and water. Okay, these are the three. Ocean, so wave comes and goes, ocean doesn't come and go, water is always water. Now we have to take the position of the three. What does the wave, what does the wave do? The moment it comes into existence, जैसे ही पैदा होती है, इधर उधर देखती है, अरे ये मेरे को धक्का दे रहा है, क्यों धक्का दे रहा है भाई? फिर चिल्लाती है, मेरे को मत धक्का दो, मेरे को मरना नहीं है, मेरे को ये शोर की तरफ, मेरे को जानबूझ के सब मिलके, इतने सारे सब मिलके मेरे को धक्का दे रहे हैं उधर जाने के लिए, मेरे को सब साजिश चल रही है, देयर इज सम कॉन्स्पिरेसी गोइंग ऑन, एवरीवन इज बिहाइंड मी, इट लुक्स एवरीवेयर, एवरीवन इज पुशिंग हर. दैट्स द फीलिंग. And it lives in that misery when the attention is on the I. When the attention is that I am individual and all other individuals are there to trouble me. Because that, so when it looks at this, after some time, या तो कोई गुरु मिल जाता है, या भगवान की ग्रेस आ जाता है, या out of frustration, it closes its eyes, the wave stops looking at other waves and just क्या करूँ, एकदम से देखती है, अरे यहाँ तो शांति है, आंखें बंद की तो शांति है. Then it says, अच्छा भगवान का नाम लो, I must find out where did I come from. And when it starts thinking this way, उसको बोल, जैसे the moment your attention moves away from the many waves to what is my source, your attention goes to the Lord, and it the scriptures say, the Guru Maharaj says that I am the part of the Lord. And as long as it's thinking of the Lord, its mind will be peaceful, it will not be influenced by all the waves outside. So either you practice bhakti or you practice jnana. So when you practice bhakti, अभी अध्यात्म रामायण का लेक्चर था पहले, राम 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 राम. और आज का स्टोरी था कि जैसे सुतीक्ष्ण मुनि थे, ये अगस्त्य मुनि के शिष्य थे, तो उन्होंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दी थी, झूठ बोल दिया था, तो उनको शाप मिला कि तुम आश्रम से चले जाओ. तो उन्होंने कहा फिर मैं कब आऊँगा, सॉरी ये वो. उन्होंने कहा नहीं, जब तक तुमको भगवान के दर्शन नहीं होंगे तब तक तुम आओगे नहीं. तो कैसे भगवान के दर्शन करूं? राम 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 राम. तो सुतीक्ष्ण मुनि, ही इज टेकिंग द नेम ऑफ राम फॉर सो मेनी ईयर्स ऑन. एंड रामचंद्र जी, लक्ष्मण जी एंड सीता जी, they are walking through the forest. All the rishi munis are telling them that all these rakshasas are troubling us. Rakshasas means all other waves, those who are bad, and they are coming and troubling us, and please. तो वो कहते हैं हाँ मैं करता हूँ. And he is going and he comes across another ashram, and the moment Sutikshna comes to know that Ram is coming, but he has been taking the name of the Ram. He has never seen Ram. He doesn't know who Ram is. Because his guru told him that you take the name of Ram and Ram will come into your life and you will be the one who will bring the Lord, the manifest incarnation of the Lord as Ram. He will first visit you and then you will be instrumental in bringing him to me, Agastya. So and the moment news comes to him that Agastya Rishi has come, he runs out. The moment he sees the Lord from top feet to the top, he is young, he is old. Falls at his feet, does his puja, and he says, I have been waiting for so many years, and see the grace that chanting your name, you have manifested sakshat in front of me. See? ये ग्रेटनेस है भगवान के नाम की. पर भगवान का एटीट्यूड क्या होता है? मैंने तुमको अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था. क्या बताया था? कि भगवान का एटीट्यूड ये है कि कोई वेव पानी ओशन का एटीट्यूड ये है कि कुछ भी उसमें से पैदा होता है उसमें कोई लॉस नहीं होता, और कुछ भी उसमें विलीन होता है तो उसमें कुछ एडिशन नहीं होता। तो क्या है भगवान? पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदम पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। फ्रॉम ओशंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, ओशन इज एवर कंप्लीट। पूर्णमदा, एक जैसे ये पानी का ग्लास है और इसमें ये फुल ग्लास है पानी का, इसमें से मैंने पानी लिया दूसरे ग्लास में डाला, तो इसमें कितना रह जाएगा? आधा रह जाएगा। इसमें कितना आएगा? आधा। तो आई हैव अ डिफरेंट मेजर when I pour something out of it. Purnamada means if I have a container called infinity, out of infinity I have taken out some, whatever is contained in infinity, the consciousness, I have poured it out. What remains behind is also infinite, and what has come out is also infinite. In other words, the life which is expressing in each one of you, if it is part of the Lord is infinite and you are also infinite, but we don't know it yet. So you should go to satsang, scriptures, Guru Maharaj, etc. But from water's point of view, now I'm suggesting you, from water's point of view, is there an ocean? Is there a wave? From ocean's point of view,
No.
that is Brahman. Because from water's point of view, I alone am. From water's point of view, there is no oceans and there are no waves. Once the wave looks into itself, Ram, 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 I want to become one with ocean, I want to become one with the ocean, my cause, जिसकी वजह से मेरी लाइफ आई है, when it merges into the Lord, it will not go to the Lord, it will go back to being water. But it was a helpful tool, क्योंकि हमको infinite के बारे में सोचना आता नहीं. How can you think of one which has got no qualities, which is infinite, which is limitless, which is indestructible, which has no form? How can you think? Which the words cannot reach, which the mind cannot comprehend, that is Brahman. So how will you contemplate? If I use the word Brahman, Brahman is also beginning and end. But what it is representing is something fantastic. It is infinite. But the word infinite is not equal to what it is representing, isn't it? So when we come, just like from water's point of view, all the oceans and all the waves are mithya. Similarly, from Brahman's point of view, the entire world of coming and going, all change is mithya. Mithya does not mean only illusion. Actually, it means illusion. But what does it mean? Mithya means that which is appearing but actually is not there. Wave is appearing but actually is not there.
It's illusion.
It's a very, that word has a little bit less connotation. It's मिथ्या में मिथ्या का
हिंदी टू हिंदी क्लियर हो जाए,
हाँ।
इंग्लिश वर्ड कंफ्यूज
वाइज मैन. तो मिथ्या मीन्स दैट विच अपियर्स बट एक्चुअली इज नॉट देयर. कैसे? हस्बैंड appears but actually is not there. Wife appears but is not there.
That's the point.
Ornament appears but is not there. तो आप पैसे किसको देते हो? नहीं, आप कर लो, इल्यूजन हम यूज करेंगे, बट आप पैसे किसके देते हो? ऑर्नामेंट के. आप उसी ऑर्नामेंट को आपने $3,000 में ऑर्नामेंट खरीदा, नेकलेस खरीदा ज्वेलर से, आप वापस लेके गए. नेक्स्ट मोमेंट यू डिसाइड, यार मैंने गलती कर दी, मेरे को ये नहीं चाहिए. वो कहेगा कि मैंने तो रिसीट सब काट दी, अब तो सर्टिफिकेट भी बन गया. नहीं, पर मेरे को पसंद नहीं आया. गोल्ड स्मिथ क्या कहेगा? अच्छा वापस कर दो. तो मैडम वापस करती हैं, तो वो उसको देता है $1,500। कहती है मैंने तो 3,000 पे किए थे। कहता है पर मैं तो, आपने ऑर्नामेंट खरीदा था, आपने नेकलेस खरीदा था, मैं गोल्ड खरीद रहा हूँ। तो आपने किसके एक्स्ट्रा पैसे दिए? नेम एंड फॉर्म के। उसने क्या खरीदा? वापस लिया ओरिजिनल गोल्ड। हम कहाँ फंस जाते हैं? नाम और नेम एंड फेम नहीं, नाम और रूप में फंस जाते हैं। नाम और रूप में फंस जाते हैं। तो नाम और रूप मिथ्या है। नाम और रूप अपीयर होता है पर है नहीं। तो हमारे शास्त्रों में, उपनिषद में आता है अस्ति भाति प्रिय नाम रूप। दिस इज व्हाट क्रिएशन इज। अस्ति भाति प्रिय नाम रूप। अस्ति भाति प्रिय मीन्स सच्चिदानंद। अस्ति इज सत, भाति मीन्स कॉन्शियसनेस, सच्चित, एंड प्रिय मीन्स आनंद, सच्चिदानंद, और नाम रूप। दिस इज व्हाट क्रिएशन इज। सो क्रिएशन का आधार क्या है? अस्थि भाति प्रिय, सच्चिदानंद इज द आधार। नाम रूप, तो नाम रूप इज द जगत. So this jagat cannot come without only by 5 elements. 5 elements must have a support of someone. And who is that? That is that Satchidanand. तो हम कहाँ पे हमारा रोना धोना एक्साइटमेंट एक्सेट्रा है? सब नाम रूप में हम फंसे हुए हैं. उसका हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते. तो इसका तोड़ क्या है? इफ आई कांट रन अवे फ्रॉम नेम एंड फॉर्म, माई हस्बैंड इज नेम एंड फॉर्म, माई वाइफ इज नेम एंड फॉर्म, my body is name and form, my thoughts have a form, everything my eyes see is color and form, my ears hear sound only, name only, everything I interact in this creation is only name and form. Then how do I come? Understand the name and form as mithya and then interact with it. Example, then it will make you clear. As a child, we are all from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, wherever. All of us have a habit कि कहीं ना कहीं हमने अपनी हाथ आग में जलाई थी. जलाया ना बचपन में, गैस ऑन कर लिया या स्टोव ऑन कर लिया, हाथ जल गया. Did we start hating fire from that day onwards? All the electric points in India and Nepal, they are on the ground, they are not on the top. So that small baby's finger goes in, बाहर आ गया. Did it stop as we grow up? Do we start hating the electric point? How did we engage with that fire? Yes, that fire burnt me. I must become cautious, and I must respect for what it can do, and I must make it my slave. So now I have fire, I never get burnt by fire or get electrocuted, but I use the electricity and fire in my life. Correct? Same way, all this appearance, all the names and forms, all the roles, you interact with them in such a way that they don't burn you. They don't disturb you. They don't make you depressed. They don't make you grieve. Life is not about grief. Life is about आनंद. You are सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप. हर क्षण तुम्हें आनंद की प्रस्तुति करनी है. रोना धोना नहीं है. रोना धोना से ईगो करता है, याद रखना. परमात्मा कभी रोता नहीं है. रोने का ड्रामा करता है सिर्फ. और वो रोता भी तब है, आंसू बहा देगा, पर वेरी नेक्स्ट मोमेंट ही स्माइलिंग. So recognize this about yourself. कि ये नाम रूप जो है ये मिथ्या है. And the only way to get out of it is accepting name and form as mithya. If you start taking name and form, which is my child, my mother, my parents, my husband, my wife, my grandparents, my house as real, depression आ जाएगा फटाफट. If you understand it is mithya, play with it full tilt, 100%, without forgetting what the original is. Then protect yourself in this way by coming back to being the original. ठीक है? Tick. वो आपके मिथ्या हैं.
मेरे मित्र हैं.
हाँ मेरे मिथ्या.
अभी भ्रम के साथ
तो
जाऊं या ना जाऊं?
अब नहीं ड्रामा करो ड्रामा.
मुझे एक ही गाड़ी है, जाना ही पड़ेगा, हम साथ में जाना पड़ेगा.
ओ भ्रमजी. तुम भी बोलो ओ भ्रमरी.
Guruji, we don't know much about you. Will you please give us your introduction
This is my introduction.
about yourself? Like, just wanted to know more about you.
Yeah, do you leave?
क्या क्या फायदा है यार. I never talk about my past. सन्यासी को तुम पूछोगे तो झूठ ही मिलेगा. So we never. If you pointedly ask, I will never answer about my past.
No, what?
And yet, in the talk, I talked about my mother, because it came as an example. But if you pointedly ask me, I'll never talk about my
So
past.
do you often travel?
Yeah, I travel now. Tomorrow I'm leaving for London. 3 weeks lectures there. Then 1 week in Dubai. Then we are going to, about 40 people are coming from here. We are going to Himalayas for Char Dham. फिर कुमाऊँ जा रहे हैं एक हफ्ता. फिर अयोध्या और वाराणसी. And then I got talks in Pune, Bangalore, Coimbatore. Then there is a retreat there in near somewhere close to Bombay for 1 week. And then I come back in December. End of
You based in Melbourne?
Melbourne, Glenville.
He lives very
There, I live here but
He travels.
travels.
So just to let you know, Swamiji also does retreats.
एक मिनट इसको कंक्लूड कर देता हूँ. ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. Just sit quietly for a moment. हरि ओम.